Shalom, with the Israelite School, a universal practical knowledge. Starting out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding Gen.YAHANNA. We teach that black, Hispanic, and Native Indians are the 12 lost tribes according to the Bible. And we also teach the truth of the Bible. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group, Muslim mosque, or Christian organization. I'm also 50 I.S.U.P.K, and today my topic is the fall of the black household. Also, the independence that Israel will soon get. And when I say Israel, I'm not talking about the Israel in the land of Israel that got they independence in 1948. I'm speaking on black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, the true biblical Jews of the Bible. Chose this topic today, man, because this whole Keke Palmer thing is going around, and not just Keke Palmer as an individual, just as a collectively. I'm just using her faith as of right now, collectively for the black household. People don't understand how the black household actually fumbled the ball, and it doesn't just have something to do with the black man, the brown man, the black woman, the brown woman. It has something to do with somebody greater, somebody who actually passed the bills and laws to tell you can be a homosexual, or you can throw that man out of the household, or you don't need a man in the household, or let us raise your children. You can't discipline your children. And the person I'm referring to is the oppressor. Is the Caucasian man, is the Roman, the Greek, the same one who came over here and captured this land from my people, our people, the Native Indians, the Gadites, the Reubenites, and those people. And they shun us, they look down on us, and they talk about how we're nothing, but yet everybody still forget that the fact that Black Wall Street, Rosewood, this whole Detroit riots, the riots in Watts, all these different riots, man, the riots in Atlanta, all these different riots were because of, we were being racially profiled. They were destroying our businesses, and we felt as if that was the right way to go about it. So back in the 1960s, the actual nucleus of the family household was strong. You had a father in the house, you had a mother with 13 kids, taking care of 13 kids. And sometimes you had men that had mistresses or other wives in our terminology, and they were still tending to the household. But nowadays, you can't even catch a man who actually wants to raise his children because of child support, or a contentious woman, or what I'm saying, just because men don't want to be men anymore. And vice versa with the sister. You can't find a woman who gonna say, I'm not gonna put this man on child support. I'm gonna let him see his child. I'm gonna take up the role of the actual mother and do the motherly things and be humble. Because the oppressor completely stripped us of all of that. We are righteous and a holy people. Like Deuteronomy 7:6 said, we're a holy people. We're a separate people unto the Lord thy God. He has chosen thee to be, a special people unto himself. Just paraphrasing it. And now we're not even holding up to certain classifications of being these holy people, these people that the Lord actually has chose. Why? Because we want to take up the oppressor's custom. We want to be like the Karen, Becky, Susan, James. We want to be like the Dylans, the Zacharys, the Timothys. We want to be like all of them, but yet we still haven't realized in 2023 we are the chosen people. We have certain laws that we have to abide by. We can't eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. We can't go out here and just, prostitute our sisters. Sisters can't sell their body, and that's the reason why we're in the household we are. Our household is in the state that it is in. A lot of single mothers raising these sons, and you can look at what's happening with Chicago. A lot of these brothers getting shot down. Just for example, a few weeks ago, the young 14-year-old brother had to take a man's life, for his mother. I understand the spirit behind it, but at the end of the day, is where was your husband? Where was the brotherly and sisterly love? Like, before he even made it to the child, you mean y'all two couldn't talk it out? Y'all couldn't find a situation? Because you don't hear the oppressor murdering his sister down up in the Walmart nowhere. You don't hear he might beat his wife, but you don't hear about the oppressor out here hijacking his oppressing sister. But who does it? We do it. It came to a point where we adopt all these people custom And now we making our own custom. You know, we going harder for the things we want to do versus what the Lord said we should be doing. But I'm about to pull this article out in Slovakia. I'm about to pull this article pertaining to the black household in the 60s. Come on. In Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man and woman, I really want you to listen to what the article is saying. Because if you can't see that this is our people, and then turn around, I'm going to pull some scriptures too, you know what I'm saying, showing that our people, then you're just delusional. You're lost because you want to be lost. But this is the Black Wall Street Time. Black family structure declined since the 1960s. The home effect. Both parents play significant roles in the growth and development of their children. When both parents are well-rounded with the minimum conflict between them, children tend to do better on many outcomes such as fewer emotional issues, fewer behavior problems, better health conditions, and better economical household. So let me read that portion again. When both parents are well-rounded with the minimum conflict, minimum, between them, so it's between both parents, not between a woman and woman, man and man, a just a woman or just a man, between both of them. Children tend to do better on many outcomes such as fewer emotional issues, fewer behavior problems, better health conditions, and better economical household. Meaning the father's not drunk, banging that woman's head against the wall. This woman ain't throwing vases and picture frames and calling the cops every other damn day, man. You know, and the children see how, you know what I'm saying, righteous mother and father are handling themselves. So they don't have to go to school with that traumatic error. Thinking, this is the type of woman or type of man I need to choose. This is the type of way, this is the way I need to conduct myself with this woman or this man. I need to solve my problems when I get mad at her and put my hands on her. I need to solve my problems with him and call my brothers and say he beat me. Those things ain't going on at this time. But we're going to continue. Every child deserves to be born to two parents who understand how important they are to upbringing of their future family. See, nowadays, now when it comes to that, there's a lot of men will go run up in a woman and run off. One night stand. Find out 15, 20 years later, you know, because he running from his duties as a father, that he got a child up here. You know, it is women out here who will sleep around and get pregnant and say, oh, well, I'm going to do child support. Or I'm going to abort the baby versus just dealing with the responsibility. Both parents play a critical and a vital role inside the household on the upbringing. Lucky, y'all. On the upbringing of a child. Now, this is going to slowly go into some of the statistics. According to the data center of kidscount.org, research shows that in 2015, 66% or 6,333,000 African American kids were parented by a single parent. So again, that's 16% over half, which is 6 million African American kids are parented by a single parent. Of course, this doesn't mean that both parents are not sharing the responsibility of raising their child, but at this rate, there is an alarming number of children not having a biological two-parent home. What is meaning is the house is split. Yeah, it might be co-parenting, mother and father stay here, mother and father stay there, and it's co-parenting. But the biological, you know what I'm saying, the nuclear household where both parents and all the family in the same household, 66% of children in the black community don't have that. The child has to adapt to two homes, maybe with step parents or even with step siblings. Yet there are many children who would never experience having both biological parents to share in their livelihood. Most than not, mothers are a main source of raising children, which means fathers are the common absent parent for most children who grow up in single parent home. Now, if you want to look at the context of what the oppressor is saying, yes, it is the mother that is you know what I'm saying, predominantly taking care of the children. But I have a whole nother article, that I can pull, if needs be, that says that's complete false. You got more black men and more fathers as a whole that want to be parents and that are actually involved in the child life. So you have to look at this whole gender war. You know what I'm saying? This whole gender, men ain't doing this, women ain't doing this. Is America brings down the man and brings down the black man and a man, as you know what I'm saying, as collectively, and then upholds the woman, and upholds the black woman collectively. We both doing our job, but it's just a man that ain't gonna be shown. You know why? Because they want to empower the woman, which there's no problem having a woman having power, but let it be the empowerment of your husband, not America. Because when you get empowerment of America, you end up looking like that goddamn slut Kiki Palmer. That's how you look. That's how you look. When you want to be empowered by your husband, then you can look at these other sisters out here. Y'all know these sisters out here and these brothers that don't got their business all out in the place. Like we go all day, all day. That all these sluts that get empowered by their husband, excuse me, by America. We know they name all the way left to right. I mean, Lil Kim, Jada Pinkett, Beyonce. I mean, Kiki Palmer. We go all goddamn day on these nasty women. But what about the ones who actually are empowered by their husband, who not out here shaking their behind? Now, I mean, it's some of y'all favorite rappers out here. Women ain't out here, all floating around. Like J. Cole, you don't hear nothing about his wife. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear about nothing about LeBron James' wife. In hell, Carmelo Anthony and damn, what's her name? Oh my gosh, the pretty sister with the big eyes. Whatever her name is. Carmelo Anthony and her had a beautiful marriage, but once they split, her name Lala. Once they split, boom, she empowered by America. Steps. Yeah, there are many children who would never experience having both biological parents to share in their livelihood. More than not, mothers are main source of raising children, which means fathers are the common absent parent for most children who grow up in single parent homes. Now, another thing, when it comes to that, why is it always the man that is the one not there? Why is it always the man that leaves the household? And when he leaves, he ain't worth a damn. Why is it always the man, when his wife leaves, it's for the greatest of my happiness? What about the child, man? Because according to the Bible, when you lay up with that man or woman and y'all get married, there's no longer about you and you and this woman, you and that man. It is work, it's business of the Lord. When y'all have a child, your job is the Lord's job. Your job is to raise that goddamn child the way that the Lord said you should raise that child. So, let me lock my phone, y'all. The way the Lord said you're supposed to raise that child. Not abandonment, not abandoning, disowning. You know what I'm saying? Relinquishing your child up to the government of this world. There is an ongoing dispute. There is an ongoing dispute whether children who are raised in single parent homes have a greater disadvantage than children raised in two parent homes. So again, there is an ongoing dispute whether children who are raised in single parent homes have greater disadvantages than children being raised in two parent homes, which is the truth. Because, like, for example, say you have a woman raising a young soldier coming in the household. It's certain things that women don't possess, that she needs to possess as a man to raise that son. For example, using the bathroom. When you raise your son, you don't raise him to put his pants all the way down and have him stand up and use the bathroom. That's certain things like that, just as a man. It's certain ways that you talk to a young soldier and you tell him don't do it this way. It's safer for you as a man and a black and brown man. It's safer for you to do things this way. And vice versa, when it comes to a woman raising another daughter, if she doesn't have a father in the household, how does she know how she need to be treated? Not from what the stepdad doing with the mom, but how does she know how she need to be treated according to what her father said? How does she know what is attractive according to what her father said, or how a woman should be treated according to what her father said? So it's certain things, and even vice versa. Let's give it up to the sister. How would a young brother know how a woman should treat me according to how she treat my father? What are certain things that my mom does that I need to look for in a woman? My mom clean. My mom cook. My mom helped me with my homework and make sure it's done. Mom make sure I go to football practice. So it's certain things that children in a one household, has a disadvantage. They don't understand certain things, and just being an actual child, having a stepmom and a father, which the Lord was with us. He gave us somebody. He gave us a couple. A strong foundation. But just being in that household, even though it wasn't my biological father, I looked at a lot of my homeboys who had to go through certain things like not having a father there. I never spoke on it, but I always seen how they reacted, how they carried themselves, or what was their response to certain things. Even seeing them getting in trouble with certain things. Again, because I had my father in the household, so I understood certain ways I need to move, certain times I need to do this and that, this and that. But then looking at the other side of the field is, I look at the homeboys like, yo, you're an idiot. You don't see that? Just the basic common wisdom of having two parents in the household. I understand, like, if I'm do it this way, I'm gonna get jammed up like him. And it was just 1+1. But then just looking at them is they didn't understand 1+1. And that's how critical and vital it is to have both parents in the household. So like, let me unlock my phone again. That's how critical and vital it is to have both parents in the household, because it's basically, think if you don't have both parents in the household, think about it, you being crippled. If you don't have your leg as a human being, you're gonna be on crutches or in a wheelchair. That's how it is. If you don't have your arm, your dominant arm, you're gonna be crippled and be forced to work with your less fortunate arm. That's how it is in the household, and that's the disadvantage a single household has. Sisters have 5 kids and still got men running in and out. Those kids are at a great disadvantage, and vice versa. I mean, even for example, real quick too, watching these serial killing things. Ted Bundy, I'm watching a documentary, couldn't find out he really did hate his mom. You know what I'm saying? Just it's certain things like that, like hate his mom, so he just want to he want to take advantage of a bunch of women. I'm not gonna say the R word, but just take advantage of a bunch of women, against their will. There's an ongoing dispute whether children who are raised in single parent homes have greater disadvantages than children raised in two parent homes. According to the Census Bureau in 1960 and 2013, African American children who live in single parent homes are more than double, from 22% to 55%. The same research shows that the same research that shows was white children from single parent homes tripled from 7 to 22%. Now again, the brothers clown me all the time because I'm bringing out articles and stuff like that, because the Bible should be enough for somebody to understand, but then you have these hard-headed, knucklehead bastards who really try to show the Bible to be wrong. So I had to actually take up arms and follow some of these great brothers in this school and give them the hard copy proof, some undeniable proof, and to where you can't run from it. And the undeniable proof is literally, we leading over everything. We leading over everything, and almost everything, 49 to over 50%. From AIDS and HIV, homosexuality, prison system, poverty amongst the sisters, black and brown sisters, the murder rate, the drugs, single parent homes, everything. But before they split up the nuclear family, then we were still leading in a lot of great things. Now we sell their drugs and we're dying. We're dying and we're losing, because we selling their drugs. Let me continue. Some will say yes, there are disadvantages for both parent and child. Stress comes in because of one parent being the main responsible caretaker. We hear this all the time. We hear this all the time. Brothers on child support, we hear this all the time. Brothers mess around, cops bam on the door right now. We looking for Brandon Wilson or Terrence, whatever his last name is. Hey, round him up. He got to go ahead and do that little 3 months to a year for child support. Now he in the hole. He in the hole. He can't pay this. Now they suspending his license. That's, you know what I'm saying. That's what I think. That's the only misdemeanor you get, suspended license or felony, something like that. Now he in the hole and can't do nothing. Now he's stressing. Now it come to 60,000, 80, 88,000. You know, $88,000 put into the hole because now he can't catch up. Now this black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man is forced to go out here and sell drugs, or pick up 2 and 3 jobs and side hustles and cut grass and chain brakes. That's what he got to do. Now the sisters out here, they got kids and they got to work 2 and 3 jobs, and they come home on their days off and babysit and do their side hustle, sell their little boutiques, do their little hair, and still can't manage to do anything. Can't get a break. I mean, it's hard enough for sisters to find a daycare or somebody who's going to watch their child, you know, faithfully, so they could go to work. And if they can't, then what? Some sisters in the hood take their kid to work, and we all understand that in the black and brown community. We know it's certain jobs that, you know, just black, Hispanic, and Native Indians cool as hell, and they understand. Bring your child to work, throw that child in the office, and go check on that child every now and then, bring them food. That's what we gotta go through. That's what we gotta go through. That's what our sisters gotta go through. And if they ain't willing to go through that, they gotta lose their job and go get on Section 8. If you can't tell me that ain't hell, then I don't know what the hell it is, man. I don't know what it is. Come on. So you mean to tell me a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man and woman gotta sit home and collect off the government and can't be great? Can't have a family? The smallest thing, we can't have a family. We have to pay to have a family. And when we pay to have a family, it's not even going to a portion goes to the child. And the rest of it goes to the government. And if the mother is any damn good and the father any damn good, they'll make sure that the money go to that child and not to themselves. Now we're gonna start from the top one time. Stress comes in because of one person being the main responsible caretaker. The one parent the one parent having to shoulder all decision making for the entire family could be overwhelming at times, which when the pressure can trickle down to the children because of the stressful atmosphere of the home. Now we hear this again. How many brothers, and you can't name one brother who ain't never made music and said this. Oh, I'm trying to get my mama out the hood. I'm trying to buy my mama a house. I'm trying to buy my mama a mansion. Buy my mama a Mercedes. I'm doing this for my mama. You know, and then turn around, you hear the next line is, I'm doing this for my kids. Come on. Every last one of them say that because it's overwhelming. You got young brothers out here selling drugs saying, I'm selling dope, I'm selling drugs to keep the lights on. I'm selling drugs to make sure there's groceries in the house for my mama. That's the trickle down. Because as parents, children shouldn't have to worry about the finances that we got to deal with. We chose to have children. You know, we chose the, I ain't say chose the life we live, but we chose to add certain things to our life. And if we add a child, why does the child have to stress on behalf of the responsibility of the parent? So that's where it becomes overwhelming for the child. Because now this young soldier out here selling weed, this young soldier out here selling pills, kicking dope, and guess what happens to him when it's a single mother home? He gets shot down. He get caught up and he's gonna sent to the prison system. He start gang banging. He start getting strung out. You know what I'm saying? Tricking off hoes. That's what he start doing. When the pressure can trickle down to the children because of the stressful atmosphere of the home. Economics can certainly be a disadvantage when there is only one income. So when there's only one income and it's time for school, them young brothers want to get shoes. You know what I'm saying? They tired of walking around with the same holy dingy t-shirt, scuffed up shoes. You know what I'm saying? Looking bummy, looking raggy as hell. The parent may have to work extra hours or maybe even 2 jobs to help make ends meet, while smaller children may not understand why there's not enough money for necessity. Now we all know. I ain't gonna talk about New York. New York, you better be making some money because I mean, one studio you paying 17 plus, 17 plus. I mean, and we all know today in society, you won't make it off of one income, one person household. One income, one person household. You as a single man or woman, unless you just making that type of money, you're not gonna make you're not gonna have everything that you got very long. And with the children, and I can even attest to that. Being young, needing certain things, football cleats, just certain things that you want and you need, but you don't even understand why I can't get it. Y'all at work all the time. Y'all both at work all the time, and one of y'all work two jobs. But you mean to tell me I can't have this one thing? I don't even ask for nothing. I don't ask for anything. Then the bull crap Christmas come around. Now you looking like, wow. I mean, I waited all year and I ain't asked for nothing. And you mean to tell me all I can do is get one thing, some socks, drawers, and pajamas? I can attest. Us as a black and brown community, we all can attest to that. But then you look at the oppressive, they getting paintball guns. You know what I mean? Let's talk about one Christmas. You see them getting paintball guns, a four-wheeler or a dirt bike, basketball goal, shoes and clothes. That's bare minimum right there. That's bare minimum. You know what I mean? And then turn around right after Christmas, that little last week before school, they go see grandma and them, and it's like, how in the hell did you have a holiday like this? And I only could get socks, drawers, pajamas, and a damn football. That's it. A couple collecting cars. That's it. Come on. And my parents was working hard all year, and I ain't get nothing all year, and I still didn't get anything. What the hell is the point of a Christmas list? What is the point? 4th of July. Let's talk about it. You got oppressors out here spending 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 on fireworks. You'd be lucky to spend $100 in the black house community. You know what I'm saying? Because of the poverty. The poverty. The oppressor will light off some fireworks out of one household. You would think they was having a gun show somewhere, a shootout. That's just what we go through, man. And as a child, we don't understand that. What is the hell that we live in? We are being oppressed. And the scriptures say oppression make a wise man mad. It does. Because even as a child, you don't understand why you're being oppressed and you can't have certain things. So you grow up and it's instilled in your head. I'm gonna get a job so I can do this. You know what I'm saying? Your mama say or your daddy say, you got food money. That certain things like that you instill in a child, and now it's like, I ain't got no money, so I'm gonna go get money by any means. All right. Loneliness for both parents and children are felt. The parent doesn't have the advantage of sharing the worries and burdens of the family with a companion, while the child would miss the overworked parent who's trying to keep the household together. Education can suffer for the children who may not have a parent available to encourage both good behavior and good academics. So now that goes into a whole nother thing. If you don't have a parent, you know what I'm saying, that's educated, like my real, if you don't have a parent that's educated, how would the child, or a parent that's educated and present? Let me say it that way. And them child, they flunking their grades. They failing here. They having critical problems in this area, in social studies or science or reading, language, whatever. How can you expect them to go to college or graduate? How can they get a decent job? Like some of these liars tell them, you got to have a diploma, or GD to live out here. When I'm 30, and I know people still to this day I went to school with and don't have neither, and they getting jobs left and right. Not saying they could get a career, but if you don't have the parent, then how can a child be anything? We all got these hoop dreams, man. We all got these dreams. But what about the dreams to where kids want to be doctors and lawyers again? They librarians, scientists and XYZ. Why all our dreams gotta be hoop dreams? A baller, a football player, a sorry ass rapper. Why that's the product of not pushing your child to the full potential. Because it ain't hard to send your child outside and throw a football with them. It ain't hard. That's not hard. Look at Bron. Everybody in the NBA, in the NFL, you know what I'm saying, in the MLB that made it there, trust me, it's thousands more that hasn't made it. That was just as good as them. Just as good as them. I mean, you got 1,000 brothers in the penitentiary right now, better than Jordan ever could have been. Better than Kobe or LeBron ever could have been. I mean, better than Peyton Manning, any of them. Floyd Mayweather, any of them. But guess what? Wrong place, wrong time. The odds was against them. Them same brothers got to fight for their life now. While single parents who wishes to advance their own education with diplomas, certification, or degree just simply can't. The rise in single parent homes has caused a ripple effect in the downfall of the family structure. The ripple can be from the cause of divorce, death, or abandonment. Whichever the cause, the family structure will feel the loss of the absent parent in the home. So now, single parent. All right, let me continue, y'all. Slacking. This can be due to extra programs that will need to be implemented to fill the gaps of the family. So let me read this again. Now we actually about to start talking about something. The rise in single parent homes has caused a ripple effect in the downfall of the family structure. So when they stripped the black man out of the household, it became harder for the sisters. Sisters work in a soup kitchen, you know, babysit and do hair on the side, you know, and whatever else you do. That's a ripple effect that starts to fall down on the family, and it could be because of divorce, death, or abandonment. They're pushing this agenda now to where it's you don't need a man. If that man ain't paying this or doing that, leave him. That's a divorce. Death is when them brothers was selling crack. Now they selling weed and doing fentanyl. You know, brothers out here gang banging. That's the death portion. And abandonment is when I can't deal with this bitch. I don't want to deal with her. I mean, life is too hard. I want to be a coward. That's the abandonment. So all that's gonna fall on that woman, but also it's always the other way around. Also, because if you talk about divorce, that woman's I don't want to be with him, and then run off. And now you know what I'm saying. Him being a stand-up guy and understand, it becomes stress on him. Even death. You know, sister won't go out here and sleep with Tom, Dick, and Harry. I mean, it's all of that right there. Abandonment also. He don't let me do nothing. This and that, X, Y, Z. All of that plays a role, a figurative role together. All right. Which the cause the family structure will feel the loss of the absent parent in the home. Society will certainly feel the loss as well. This can be due to extra programs that will need to be implemented. Will need to be implemented to fill the gaps. So these things that need to be implemented to fill the gaps are the Section 8. So we're gonna make them pay $8 a rent to where it could sustain them. You know, on the child support, we're gonna beat that man over his head $700 child support a month to sustain her. You know, certain things of that nature. And it's tragic because they put it. They put us into a trap. You know, they separated the black-brown household and then gave alternate sources to where the black and brown household don't need to stay together. That's why us in the U.P.K, you know, I.S.U.P.K, we frown on, I believe her name is Margaret Sanger. You know, the one that, well, which one was it? No, it wasn't abortion. It was the other one. It's whatever. Women empowerment, abortion, whatever the case may be, to where, or it's women rights, to where it's like, oh, we need to have the same rights as men. That was never the case like that in the black and brown household. Like we always been equal. We got shot, got an ass whoop, and everything else together. We picked cherries and jalapenos and oranges all together. But the issue was the European man was going to war for her rights because slavery was over with. So now she had to go out and work. She had to get up and, you know what I'm saying, lace up her bootstraps. That was the issue. But now they separated us, have our sisters thinking that we're any different from them. We're any different from them, and gave them some form of source to where they don't need men in the household, or making men feel as if they're not wanted or belittled or demasculated. So continuing. So if a program has been implemented, why not erect programs to educate couples on marriage preparedness? Maybe even start in high school educating students on family virtues and structure. Let's see the single parent situation as a means to heal instead of placing a temporary band-aid on it. So did this, I mean, it was an all right question, but the reason why they're not going to teach it is because America wants Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man and woman, First Nation man and woman to fail. To fail. To never have a chance in this land again. Ever. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with a subtle beast, man. Somebody who know how to play poker. Like, this is who we dealing with. That's why they won't show it. Because they already know when that Black household come back together and that man get back in authority, when that man get back in authority, there is nothing anybody could say. That's why the scriptures say, what is a spoiled man household? You want to paraphrase? You want a spoiled man household? First, bind a strong man. Meaning, take that man out that household if you want to spoil his good. And spoil his good is destroying his family, his wife, kids, and everything else. Okay, here. There are several causes why single-parent families exist. In the past year, the war causes some families to lose a parent, more commonly the father. Mothers were widows and left to resume sole responsibility for their children. Now, let me imply real quick. I commend any Black and brown man who went to war, whether it was for his people or goddamn just going to fight war. But that was one of the issues when it came to us dying. Why are we going to war to die for a goddamn bastard who don't even give a damn about us nor himself? What's the purpose? So that is another reason why there was a lot of widows out here. Resume sole responsibility for the children. In recent years, divorce has become a far more common issue for single parent. Divorce became a far more common issue for a single parent home. Research has shown that there is a 40% chance of the first time marriages ending in divorce. Now, let me imply. Research has shown that there is a 40% chance of the first time marriages ending in divorce. Now, if that's a first time marriage, where was the love at? Where was the till death do us part? Thick and thin, sickness and health. So 40% of those marriages really ain't mean a goddamn thing. Because, you know what I'm saying, somebody been unhappy, somebody wanted to be free, somebody didn't want to have no responsibility. So the first time marriages, which if you stick your goddamn rod in a woman, that's your wife. Regardless what the bitch doing, as long as she ain't committing adultery, and the other man, he ain't committing adultery. And fornication. Well, what does it matter? 40% of those marriages have failed. That shows America's Constitution is full of it. It's full of it. And you'll be a goddamn fool to think that a sheet of paper and a wedding ring means anything, sis. You'll be a goddamn weak man, brother, to sit here and think, put all your faith, trust, and love, and honesty and beliefs into a sheet of paper that the oppressor give you. You would be a dummy. Because you might just be that 40%. You might be that 41%. You might just be that 2% of that 40 that your marriage will fail. It ain't nothing but a business, man. That's all it is. You say you love this person, they gonna get paid off your love. And soon as your feelings change for this person, I'm gonna get paid off your goddamn love too. And I'm gonna make sure you get paid too because you work with me. Come on, man. There's nearly half of the nation's children having a possibility to be raised by one parent. That's not to mention the effects that children will experience from divorce itself. Depending on the stages of the children, the coping mechanism will be different for children, each child. So again, you make it about yourself, want to be selfish because you want to run off and do whatever you want to do, whether it's unlawful, lawful, however. I mean, if you running off and divorcing, no one be bothered, it's unlawful regardless. But you so selfish thinking it's about your feeling. Again, you getting married and having a child. That ain't your child. That's the Lord's child. It's just the Lord's child. It's just as if, for example, if you have children with a man or a woman, and vice versa, and you take that child to daycare, the sole responsibility for that person taking, at that daycare to take care of your child. If you have your child and drop your child off to a best friend's house while you go out and party or go handle business or interview, the sole responsibility over that person as a guardian is to take care of that child. Now, when you put your rod in this woman and y'all decide to get married and lay down together and have a child, the sole responsibility of you to take care of the Lord's child is to take care of that goddamn child. You don't see people at daycare walking out abandoning no damn kids. You don't see people walking their kid to the mailbox walking your kid to the mailbox and leaving them. Why? Why? Because it's a responsibility they have. It's a responsibility. And even if they don't want to deal with the child, they can show enough moral respect and gratitude to call and say, come pick up your child. But it's a lot of you cowards and weak women out here who are willing to just throw a child away, abort a child, just have a child and just get a check off them. That's what you're doing. That's the Lord's child. That's the Lord's business. The Lord blessed you enough and blessed that womb and blessed your seed to have a child. That is the Lord's business, man. God damn your happiness. I mean, we go through it every day that wishing, we court people. Even people in the world. Y'all sisters say the dumbest shit. Oh, I wish I could have chose my baby daddy. I wish I could have chose my baby mama. The simplicity behind some of the things that people say, man. I tell you, I ain't never heard of Becky say nothing so damn dumb. So we gonna continue. Where are we at? Giving birth out of wedlock is another cause of single parenting. I mean, I really ain't trying to get into it, but I've run across it. This whole wedlock things and saying, oh, getting pregnant before marriage and all that's the Roman custom. That's the Roman custom. Period, point blank. How can you, when it comes to being an Israelite, how can you give birth out of wedlock? Sex is marriage, so you're married. She got pregnant the first time. Yeah, she got pregnant in the process of y'all getting married, having sex. Simple. Giving birth out of wedlock is another cause of single parenting. According to the Center of Disease, hold on, let me pause again. That is a cause of single parenting because nobody honors and upholds the physical body. Nobody understand and have enough pride in respect for themselves or somebody else's body in America. So we ain't married. I can sleep with you. Damn, whatever happens, it happens. If it happens, it happens. It ain't my problem. I got mine. If you don't get yours, you better get yours or I got mine. That's how everybody talk. Oh, I need to test drive it if I want to be with him. If it ain't no good. Now look at you, both dumb. Pregnant. Got kids on the way. Child support. Disease. According to the... Alright, let me start from the top. Giving birth out of wedlock is another cause of single parenting. According to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention from data of 2010, 73% of African American children are born out of wedlock. See, when you put the statistics on what America say, 73%. So let's just say we lead in that again, even though sex is marriage. With that being said, not every birth out of wedlock is unintentional. There are a few who have every intention of raising children on their own. Everyone has a different reason why they want children. Nevertheless, intended pregnancies are more common among unmarried than married. These unintentional births can cause a significant strain on family foundation. The children suffer numerous adverse effects such as poor health, high risk of violence, and poor achievements in school. Self-explanatory. Adoptions can be another cause of single parent family. History has shown that adoption agencies did not allow single parent adoption, mainly because the agency thought such household will harm the children, both emotionally and economically. However, most recently, many states have begun to allow single parent homes with exceptional circumstances. Now we're going to the scriptures. And and again, this is something I learned from Commander General Hannah and all the great brothers that's above me and brothers that's right beside me. Just like it, and brothers that fall up under my rank. I follow brothers, above me because these articles are what's going to solidify, the truth. These articles in itself is going to show the truth. Even though people don't want to believe the Bible, when you show these articles and you look at these articles and see and you look at the community, it's like, and you look at the community, it shows what's going on in our community, where we fail and lack at, so you can't deny it. But when you bring out this biblical proof, there is no denying, no denying whatsoever. So we're gonna go to Proverbs 22:6. This is bedrock scripture, y'all know it. And it's real vital because we was good in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, 50s. It started getting rough at the end. Then the 60s came. That's when this whole civil right and bullcrap Martin Luther King came through and all this other stuff. Then the 70s, then the 80s, all through that crack. Then the 90s, 2000, and goddamn, look where we at now. Look where we at now. Come on. So we got Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. See, but let me use NBA Youngboy. NBA Youngboy, he probably got more kids than more kids. I mean, this young cat probably ain't even 24 yet, 23, and I mean he's shooting kids left and right. Excuse me, he spitting out that seed left and right. It's the young brothers like that don't understand that I have to be a father first. I have to be a righteous father first. But the only way you're going to be a righteous father is you got to follow these law, statute, commandments to the T. You got to get up under the tutelage of Commander General Yohanna. Because any righteous father would know that I got kids out here. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's one or a ton. Wouldn't be out here talking about gang banging, how he got violence, you know what I'm saying? How, F a nigga, all of this, our body nigga. A righteous father wouldn't say all that, knowing the type of spirit that comes behind that. When you spew out that spirit like that, expect everybody else who dig that spirit to try your spirit. And when I say that, it's people like these gang bangers, you know what I mean? These rappers like King Von and all that. When you rap about that violence and stuff like that, and you actually go to these shows, you got them same niggas out there that want to try and see if you really like that. You blood and you rapping all that. You got Crip niggas in the crowd who want to try your spirit and see if that's how you really rock it. But what you have to understand is, you need to train up a child in the way that they should go. Like all this music that's out here, all these hoes having music. I mean, having children and playing this music. That child gonna hear that music in 10 years. You know what I mean? That child's gonna hear it. They might hear it when they go to daycare. You got to train that child up. You got to train that child up to say, that is my brother. I ain't pulling no gun on my brother. I ain't gonna sleep with my brother, wife, old lady, whatever y'all call it nowadays. I'm not gonna sell no drugs to my brother. I ain't gonna steal out my mama's purse. Even with sisters, that sister need help, I ain't gonna bash her. You know what I'm saying? I know I got 5 kids and she got 1. I'm gonna show her how the things I gotta go through and how I'm managing off of 5 kids, so she ain't gotta go keep going through it. That's what a righteous sister do. Prevent something. You train up a child in the way that they should go. And when he is old, he would not depart from it. So when them kids get older, that same sister that had 1 kid, when she figured out the tricks and trade of how not to have all these kids and not to have all these baby mamas, because the sister already fell in that situation, when she get old, she'll be able to tell her daughter the same thing. You know, she'll be able to tell her co-worker, you know what I'm saying, one of her older aunts. You know, even with these brothers out here, all you sorry behind gang banging brother. I'm in Oklahoma and I still see y'all niggas is 45, 50, rocking all blue, all red, bandanas. You know what I mean? Talking this and cuz and all. Y'all niggas look stupid. You look stupid. Come on. I mean, like somebody who's gonna save us. You did 20, you did 10, 15, 20 down the line, all behind the wall, and what have you got out and learned? Nothing. Nothing. What are you teaching? Nothing. Nothing. Some of y'all lost all y'all partners. What are y'all teaching? Nothing. When are we going to build up this community and show these brothers how to live? We die easy. We die without trying. We die by going to McDonald's and getting shot down in a car, man. We die because you got a hoodie and a sweet tea in your hand. That's how easy we die out here. But where are the wise men who are going to show us how to live and fight and raise a family? Where are you? Because Becky and all them don't got to deal with that. They got their suburbs, how they gated communities, security out front, patrol out front, cars, whole neighborhood grilling and cooking out, swimming pool throwing parties left and right. Police can't even get in their communities. They go party to the death and nobody dies out there. Police don't come in there and raid nobody, murder nobody, no nothing. Most of the time when you hear a murder inside a community is because they mass murders want to kill their family, and or somebody killing themselves. But with us, it's so easy for us to die. But you got gang banging old heads. I ain't gonna call you OGs because you ain't learned nothing. Old heads that ain't helping nothing. These old behind women out here dressing fly as all hell. Get out with they behind showing, ain't teaching these girls nothing. 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 But if you teach them right, when they get old, they're going to know, man. We're going to proceed to the next precept. We're going to go to Jeremiah 10 and 2. Yeah, these just milk scripture. You know what I mean? I just really, the article was most important to me at that time, man. But, you know. And I don't want to sound, so harsh or, speak so boldly, but somebody got to tell you. I mean, if you've been the hardest behind a wall or something, you should be able to just open your goddamn ears and just listen. That's why the scriptures say, he that have an ear, let him hear. Listen, man. Don't let age fool you, man. Because there's a lot of foolish behind 45, 50-year-old men out here who did everything and still don't know what they doing. Still don't understand. Why am I selling weed and I just got caught up in the 80s, did 20 years behind a nickel and dime bag, but I'm going to come out and I'm going to smoke me a blunt. That's what I'm going to do. I mean, come on. And you got 5 kids and you going to say, girl, you young, live your life. Like, what kind of nonsense is that? These old women say, you ain't going to marry for love, marry for money. That's a white woman's thought process. That's why they get married. Look at Kim Kardashian. That's why they get married. We're not them people, man. We're not. And this precept right here is going to tell you we're not those people. Stop thinking like those people. Jeremiah 10 and 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. In the scripture, a heathen can be 2 things. First, for the foremost part, is somebody who is completely not an Israelite, not black, Hispanic, and Native Indian whatsoever, according to your father's side. But a heathen could also be a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian who acts as such, who feel as if child support is the best route, or voting, or go murder that man, or have strife against our own people in this lineage. The Lord said, learn not the way of the heathen. So when it comes to dreadlocks, smoking weed, it's so many more out here. Voting, going to war, going to these wars and joining hand in hand with these folks. We go all day worshiping a rock, worshiping the damn Christian church whatsoever, saying you free spirit. All of that is heathen customs. All of that. And the Lord said, learn not the way of the heathen. The reason why I learn not is because you don't want to. Let me see how they. Let me see. You don't want to adopt different customs like Adam and Eve did. The Lord said, don't go to these other trees. But what they did, whatever they did when they went to these other family trees, they grabbed it and tried to bring it back home with them. And the Lord seen it. Whether, for example, it could have been a cigarette on this tree over here, and they want to smoke cigarette, and they brought that back over to our lineage. The Lord said, learn not the way of the heathen. You don't go over there and smoke that cigarette. Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So, you know what I'm saying? This is the ending part is just talking about, how they said you just hear about these Israelites on Facebook a few days ago. Hell, all last week and this week, talking about, I know y'all seen the red moon. That's a heathen custom. What is that showing? What is a new moon gonna do? Come on. That's dumb. When it comes to certain things like that, Israelites just use that stuff to be able to tell time and use direction. You got the North Star, you know what I mean? You got all these different constellations. It just we just learning direction. You know what time it is. You know what I mean? But a heathen will say, "Oh yeah, this that. Yeah, the sky is falling. Yeah, the sky is this and that." That's a heathen custom. That's zodiacs and everything else, man. Let me see where we at. Oh, all right. Yeah, let me go ahead and continue. For the custom of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest. The custom of the people are vain. I mean, it means nothing. They cut a tree out of the forest. So now we're going to continue to figure out what is this tree. And do mind, this is a whole nother class, so don't expect me to go all the way into it, They cut a tree out the forest, the work of the hands of workmen with a axe. They deck it with silver and gold, and they fasten it with nails with hammer. So this whole tree, is they talking about cutting the evergreen tree out of the forest. I forgot exactly what this goddess woman name is, but the evergreen tree, it signifies of her son. And I forgot exactly what it is. If I go more into it, hell, I might bring it out in 2 weeks. Basically talking about her son. Her son died, and they buried him by evergreen tree, and that's why they say, he lives in the spirit of the evergreen tree that's green all year around. And when it comes to the being decked in silver and gold, those are the people's heads. When she told them to go give presents, gives gifts, and put it under the tree. For the people who didn't want to do it, they'll sever their heads off and hang it on the tree. That's where the whole that comes from. That whole concept of Christmas and this and that. Christmas is about murder. That's what it's about. A woman murdering people who didn't want to put a damn gift under the tree for her dead son. And now they say every his spirit lives in every evergreen tree. And when I heard that's a heathen custom. But when I heard it, it's like, okay, so if he was buried in this evergreen tree, how the hell is his spirit over here? That's where I'm at. You know what I mean? What if the forest got burnt down and these trees grow back? Is the spirit dead or is it alive? That's a heathen custom, man. I ain't getting too much into it because it's bull crap. That's a whole nother topic. Let me see. All right. That it move not, that they are upright as the palm tree, but speak not, they must need born. All right, yeah, all of that other stuff is relevant. So let's continue. So we're going to Romans 9 and 13. Romans 9 and 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So, as it is written, meaning it been written a long time ago. It's already been stamped. In this New Testament, Christian, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. See, Jacob was a righteous man. His name was later changed to Israel. That's where you get Israelites from. You know, the prince of the power, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and he hated Esau, the progenitor of the Caucasian race, the oppressor. You know, Mount Seir. You know, Edom, whatever else you want to call it, the red dragon. That the Lord loved Jacob and hated Esau, not because of skin tone, like Christians say. It has nothing to do with it. Because and me as a Reubenite, I look like a nigga, but I got brothers that's damn near as white as this paper. That's a nigga. I mean, they're actual Negro descent. So the Lord, he ain't gonna have his way with Esau because of the color of his skin. It's because of the crimes. It's because of the violence. You know what I'm saying? The bloodshed, the hate, the lies, the wickedness, the thievery, the whitewashing. That's why the Lord's gonna do it. Let me continue. But what shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. So is there unrighteousness because the Lord hated him? In life, there's a balance. You got right, left, up, down, negative, positive, love, hate. You always got black, white, period. It's always gonna be a balance, like pure point blank. So is there unrighteousness because the Lord chooses one side? Even though he said it's a balance, is it wrong because he chooses one side? God forbid. Again, it's like it. What's wrong? Come here real quick. Sit down. Sit right there. Don't say nothing. Don't move. Slide over. All right, right there. It's like it, y'all. Yeah, so me bringing that out, that's the crime. When you put negativity and you put crack in the black community, when you sit here and separate the household and cause division and strife, when you take that strong man out that household, you do certain things like that, what the oppressor done, the Lord sees that. That's why the Lord hates it, because the Lord has chosen us to be a special people to Himself. Now, by you putting certain things that's going to force us to put us in a position of transgression or being worldly or fleshlight, that's why the Lord hated it, because He chose us to be a special people for Him. But how are we special when you're corrupting our nation? You making us like you, and the Lord hates you. So if the Lord hates you and you making us as such, setting up traps and snares to where we can't get out of it, it's only right that the Lord hates. Because if you don't hate one thing, if you love one thing, you're gonna hate the other. You can't love everything. You can't. So let's go to Revelation 2:9. Because let the Christian church tell you is, oh, God love everybody. You know, I love everybody. Then who the hell do you hate? If you love everybody, who the hell do you hate? If somebody was to come and unalive your sibling, best friend, whatever, are you still going to go and give them hugs and kisses, or you're going to want justice, or you're going to seek revenge on your own? That's not love. That's not love. Love is letting the Lord do what He need to do, and you do what you're supposed to do. Go Revelation 2:9. It's like, was it 2:9? Yeah, it's like Revelation 2:9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. The Lord knows our work. He knows the situation and what we going through, and He knows the poverty. He knows. He knows that brother who has to get a second job and get $1,700 taken from him for child support, for a sick, disgusting bitch just to get her nails done and buy the baby some Pampers and wipes. He knows the work. This is the Lord knows your work, sis. When you gotta sell food stamps and do this and buy 3 and 4 kids, you know what I'm saying, clothes. The Lord know your work. The Lord knows. Come on, man. The Lord knows what we go through. The tribulation and poverty. The Lord understands the fact that we in Section 8 paying $8 a month, $24 a month. and still got to do other things, and we can't make ends meet. You gotta pay. Just imagine, you gotta pay your rent $8 to $24 a month, and you still gotta sell food stamp for you to do things that you want to do, and still can't do them. Still can't do them. And most of the people who actually live in Section 8 smoke weed. They drink. I mean, that's just honest truth, dude. That's Israel. That's what we do. The Lord sees the poverty to where you can't even enjoy the little delicacies as far as drinking or just having a night out or just going to see a movie. Buying a pack of t-shirt and drawers every now and then, once a month. The Lord knows the poverty that we're in. But again, this wicked bastard, he oppresses so much to where we think it's normal. And when we don't want to be normal no more, we go out here and do things that's unnormal. Excuse me. Our normal is to be righteous. Let me say it that way. But we go out here and do things that's unnormal. Meaning sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? Scheme and connive and swindle and lie about certain things to do certain things. The Lord knows our poverty, man. But thou art rich. So we're rich. Black and Hispanic sister. Don't think just because you at your low right now. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how you gonna make them ends meet. You wanna know when you gonna get out the hood. You wanna know when you gonna get out of Section 8. Just know you rich. You keep fighting and you keep doing what you supposed to do. Put them cigarettes and weed down. Pick that up. Put them cigarettes and weed down. Just keep fighting because you are rich. Not rich when it comes to money, but rich in spirit because the Lord see it. Even when it comes to black man, you keep fighting. You keep, the tables gonna turn. You and that woman may get back together. The Lord may say something up to where that child support will completely vanish. You might get back child support or reimbursed, whatever the hell they call it. Just know you rich, black man. Everybody want to be like you. Everybody wants you. Whether it's sports, sex, whatever. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you are the great people. You are rich. Understand that. But the trap that was set up and established all through, you know what I'm saying, humanity, and more specifically for this topic, the 50s and 60s, they set that up for you to fail. That's what happened. But you rich. You rich in spirit, man. Goddamn $1. You want to be richer when it comes to wealth? Deal with your own people. Put your money in your own people, man. That's what you do. Because the Christian church ain't going to teach you that. Being a Muslim ain't going to teach you that. Because men and GEN.YAHANNA teach you to love Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people. Don't pick and choose. Pick them all. And I know the blasphemy of them which say that they are Jews. The Lord knows the lies of the ones that say they Jews. When everybody hear Jew, we think about the Diamond District, gold. You know, the people over there in that land. The Lord knows the lies of those people that say they Jews. So who the hell are the real Jews? Who are the real Jews? Let me continue. And are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So if they ain't the real Jews and they the synagogue of Satan, who the real Jews? Who the real Jews? Because obvious, if the Lord has chosen us and those people say they the real Jews and they not the real Jews, and we possess all the skills, talents, and everything else, you know what I'm saying, the biological aspects and everything else, who are the real Jews? Because if we chose it and we're rich and we're great, who are the real Jews? Come on. I don't know one white boy that has a better fashion design than Big Sean. Not one. You know what I mean? Excluding all the dresses and these brothers be wearing out. I don't know one white boy who dressed better than any of these celebrities that's into fashion. I don't know one white woman or one East Indian that cook better than any black woman who, you know what I'm saying, love her food. Not one. I don't know one white boy who could design or have a better paint scheme on a car or bike than a Mexican man. At all. I don't know one white boy who is more talented on a soccer field than a damn Jamaican brother. Not one. Not one. I don't know one white boy who played better baseball than a Puerto Rican. Or box better than a Cuban. You know what I'm saying? I don't know one. Not one. But those are the chosen people, man. Those are the Jews. Those are the people that the Lord really loves. Not the synagogue of Satan. That's a synagogue of Satan. But your Christian church will overlook the whole revelation because revelation gonna unfold amongst your eyes. We're gonna go to Ezekiel 35 and 35 and 2. This is the last precept right here. Man, don't think this is the first go around, cause this. Yeah, don't think this is the first go around, cause the Lord ain't never like them people. You know what I mean? You can't find it nowhere in there where He said Esau have our love and Jacob our love. You'll never find it. So we're going to Ezekiel 35 and 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. So the Son of Man, you know what I'm saying, he's going to set his face against Mount Seir. Mount Seir is the oppressor. And prophesy against it. And say unto it, thus saith the Lord God, behold, Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. So the Lord said, I'm going to destroy you more than everybody. More desolate. And we already know the condition, and you know, the condition of Black, Hispanic, Native Indian. But the Lord is saying He's going to make them more desolate. More desolate. And it is right. It has nothing to do with color, man. Nothing. Because when you look all through history, they had their hand in each and everything that happened to us. Regardless who say what. They was a part of everything. Everything. But, you know, let me make sure I ain't got no more in that article because I'm about to close out. I don't want to shorthand y'all. We got to come to understanding that we are different people. You know, and we'll be consumed like every other people if we keep thinking we're like other people when we're not. The Lord didn't set it up like that. The Lord need to be served. Christ got to be served. Will be served, but we need servants. Why the hell are you thinking like a servant or acting like a servant? You don't want to be great in His land. You don't. We ain't got enough time to be sitting here crying and sniffling and twerking and shaking hands and raping lesbian women. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got enough time to be killing sisters and letting heathens kill our sisters. You know, we ain't got enough time for that. But you got these other groups out here in these camps. They gonna make all the time for wickedness, all the time. All right, hold on, Salaki. Oh yeah, let me go ahead and imply this real quick because this is the part that almost pissed me off. All right. Yet, with all the negative narratives of single parenting, there are many parents who fight the stigma and raise successful children, which is true. There's many parents that done it. These single parent children grow to be some of the greatest icon in American history. Now, do mine. Sport figures, whatever, you know what I'm saying? However it goes, you know, actors, musicians, okay, so be it. But now listen to this list. Single parents grow to be some of our greatest icons in American history, such as Halle Berry, actress, Shaquille O'Neal, NBA legend, Samuel L. Jackson, actor, Mary J. Blige, music artist, recording artist, and 44, Barack Obama. Now, they named it's successful people, but who gives a damn about an actor and a musician? We're the doctors and lawyers. That when they took us out of their household and they took actual trade from us, this is what they gave us. This is what they gave us. Nobody want to be an actor, lawyer, you know what I'm saying, pediatrician, gynecologist, none of that. Nobody want to be none of that. Everybody just want to be a sport athlete and thinking that's something so great and deep and heavy when it's nothing. It's nothing. Because these same people, what have they gave back? What? A couple views? I paid them to view them? Come on, man. But listen, man, I'm also 50 Ashaya with the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, starting out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander GEN.YAHANNA. We teach that Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, First Nation people, so-called, let me say, are the biblical Jews according to the Bible and are the chosen people of God. We're not affiliated with any of these sorry-ass Israelite groups whatsoever. We are the home of the truth. We're not affiliated with any Christian organization or Muslim mosque, no religious beliefs whatsoever. Let me see. I think that's it. I think that's everything. Everybody tune in Monday night. Black Watch, Commander GEN.YAHANNA, and all the heavy hitting generals gonna be on there, and we just talk about the updates on everything in the Black community. And with that, shalom.